Hi, in this lesson we're going to cover how to add manufacturers to your OpenCart store. We're also going to quickly cover how to attach products to manufacturers and how to display your new manufacturer in the manufacturer carousel that's by default set up in your OpenCart store. So the first thing we need you to do is to log into your OpenCart admin panel. We then go to the catalog menu item down to manufacturers, and on the right hand side we have the insert button here. The first field we need to complete is the manufacturer's name. It's a required field, so we're just going to put in, for this test purposes, my test manufacturer. In the second field, the stores field, for 99.9% of OpenCart users, you're just going to want to leave this at the default value. If you are running multiple instances of an OpenCart store, please have a look at our lesson on running multiple instances of OpenCart. The third menu item or field that we need to complete here is the SEO keyword. We've covered this a little bit more in depth in the categories and products lessons. If you're unsure, please go back and re-watch those. But what we need to do here is to put in the SEO keyword, whether we're going to use it or not in the future. It's good to have it available if we want to turn on the SEO features of OpenCart down the road. So we're going to follow our convention set up earlier, and we're going to call this my test manufacturer, words separated by hyphens rather than spaces. And whatever you do, please don't set it all up so it's one big word that Google has to look at and try and decipher that that's actually 3 words here. Use hyphens to make it easier for Google and increase your search engine juice. The image field here is not currently used by OpenCart, but it is used by a number of third-party modules that you may want to use down the track. So again, rather than bypassing this and possibly later on having to go back and add images to all your manufacturers that you set up, I suggest it's pretty simple just to actually set it up from the start. So we're going to choose an image that's already in our OpenCart demo store. But if you wanted to upload an image, you could click the upload button and do it. We're just going to choose this nice little monitor here. We're not particularly concerned about the sort order of our manufacturers. We're going to leave it at alphabetic, so we're just going to go for 0. That's the basic fields we need to set up the manufacturer. When we click on the save button, we get a nice little success message saying we've done everything right and it's been set up. We can confirm that. It's right here. Now if we go to our OpenCart store, something that's going to be a little confusing is it doesn't appear to be a manufacturer menu item anywhere highly visible. It is there, it's right down the bottom. In the footer of your store by default, under the extras listing here, there's a brands link, not manufacturer, brands. I'm unsure why they've chosen to change the wording, but brands is the equivalent of manufacturer for OpenCart. So when we click on brands, it's going to pull us up to a nice little page, and there we can see alphabetically listed my test manufacturer. Now if we click on our manufacturer, it doesn't really give us much because we haven't attached any products to our manufacturer. If we went to another brand, say if we looked at Apple, we'd see that yes, there are products attached to that manufacturer. So how do we attach a product to a manufacturer? Let's go back to our OpenCart admin panel. We need to go back to our products. Let's look at the product we created earlier, my test product. We're going to edit that. And under the links tab, where before we chose the Apple manufacturer, what we're going to do here is just start typing my test manufacturer, and there it pops up. We just select it. We can save that product now. We can go back to our manufacturer / brands page. When we click on my test manufacturer, lo and behold, we now have a product attached to our manufacturer. So you might want to attach all the products that are appropriate to a manufacturer, put them all together so that if people do want to search by brand or manufacturer, they can do so. Now you might be thinking, what's the point? I do all this work and there's only a little link at the bottom of my store. Brands, how are people even going to find that, and why are they going to be bothered looking way down there to try and find products by manufacturer? But the power is not in that, the power is in the association, and we can see this little scrollable box here that moves left and right and can be set to auto move itself. This is actually brands in here, carefully chosen. There's a few brands being set up. So we go, well, I might want to put my manufacturer, my brand in here so that it's more visible, and people when they're looking at my store might just come down and go, yes, I want all of the products under that manufacturer, and click through to it. So how do we do that? Well, the first thing we need to do is we need to go back to our manufacturer page, and we need to go up in the address bar, and we need to copy this URL. This is the URL, the direct link to our manufacturer's page. Then we can go back to our admin panel, system, design, banners, and we can see that that banner that we've been looking at and admiring how we'd like to put our manufacturer in, this one here, has already been set up there, and it's called manufacturers. So we're going to edit it, and we can see that it's got a title, its status is enabled, and lo and behold, these are all the manufacturers that have been added to that banner. Now we might want to say, let's take out this palm manufacturer and we're going to insert our own instead, or we might add it to the end of these product manufacturers, but let's just remove palm. We're going to add, and we're going to call it my test manufacturer. The next field here, if we scroll up, it's the link to the manufacturer page. So where we copied it before, let's paste it. You can notice that they've actually set up the links here in a kind of unique way. What they've done is they've taken everything after the domain name of your OpenCart store. So you can see that their URL, their link starts with index.php, whereas ours is starting with actual HTTP and our domain name. So what we want to do here is just carefully truncate or take this away from our URL. And now our URL is exactly the same as the existing ones there. Now we want to choose an image. We'd probably be best choosing the image that we chose on the manufacturer creation page, which was this nice little monitor. And we are all set to click save. Get the confirmation that we've done everything right, and that banner, the manufacturer's banner, has been successfully modified. Now if we go back to our OpenCart store, here's that banner. We're just going to refresh this page, and there we have it. There it is, our test manufacturer. We can click through to it now, and we can see the products listed under it. So that's how we set up manufacturers and attach products to those manufacturers, and for the purposes of making that manufacturer more visible, how we add that manufacturer to a banner. Thank you.